Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks. And today we are in an encounter battle on Sand River, and I'm in the Tier 10 American heavy tank, the T110E5. This is such a good tank. I have featured it fairly recently on the channel, and it's just so solid for me. It's got a high floor, and it doesn't have that low of a ceiling. It can have a pretty good ceiling. This tank's capabilities allow it to excel. It's not going to clip out tanks. It's not going to surprise anybody with its mobility, but it is just solid and steady and reliable. And in this battle, we are going to see that high floor save me from some mistakes, and also see how high we can push that ceiling at the same time. All right, so I'm trying to get into position here up on this ridge. Because it's an encounter battle, there's going to be a big fight for the center, but I want to kind of work my way up around the north edge of the map. And I loaded some HE because I saw a Barask, which I thought was getting into position. So as I crossed the valley, we had a chance to take an auto-aim shot at an Object 705. We do, because of the HE, we do get a little bit of splash damage, 91 damage to start out the battle. If I had fired a regular round, probably wouldn't have gone in. I have a feeling it would have bounced. So we get a little bit of a reward there from our thought of the HE pre-select. So now we've got an M48A5, and I think we get a little bit punished there for our HE choice, right? That was 142 damage, and I feel like we definitely had the lower plate there. We could have got a penetration and much more damage in that case. But it all evens out. A little bit of bonus damage there from the first shot makes up for that low second roll. So then I load a regular round given that low roll, and we see this Diamondback. I think that's a Tier 8 British tank destroyer trundling through the middle of the map. I don't know where that guy's going, but I was able to back up and spot him and put a standard round into the side of the tank, 422 damage. And hey, we're up to 655 here in the first minute and a half of the battle. So that's a pretty good result. So now I'm going back to working this ridge and trying to figure out how I can help the battle here. Again, I'm in a Tier 10 heavy tank. I need to be having an influence on the battle, but I am spotted. I think it's probably that M48A5. He's got to be like in that bush, because as soon as I peek around the corner, I get spotted. So he's got to be there. He's right there. I'm kind of looking. I'm like, should I take a blind shot? Yeah, let's sling one of the shells out there and see if we hit somebody. No, we don't. But I know he's there somewhere, but I can't really advance. There's one tank, a Jagdtiger down. There's a T69. There's him. I feel like I can't do it. I'm going to get lit up. But then my ally puts in a nice shot, takes out the Jagdtiger, and now I feel like we've got a chance. So I'm going down slope. I got some speed, so let's do it. Let's push. Maybe we take a shot, but I feel like I can't just sit there and let the battle happen. I've got to take the fight. And here we go. T69, this is an engagement I am comfortable winning because the tank is so strong, right? This is a Tier 10 against a Tier 8. He's got an autoloader, but his penetration value is very bad. He doesn't have anywhere near enough damage in the clip to do anything to me, so we easily take him out. And then, after doing that, we spot the Object 705 on the same health we left him with after that first shot that we auto-aimed at him. First shot tracked him. He repairs the tracks before my reload. We throw in a second shot, track him again, and now, am I just going to get to farm this entire tank? My reload is beating his track repair. 3 shots go in, tons of damage. We are just farming this guy. And then, how did he beat my reload with his track repair there? He did it the first time, so I thought he used a repair kit, but then he did it again the third time. Does he have 2 repair kits? Or does he have that skill that, like, increases your crew performance when your health gets low? I'm not quite sure what happened there. If you do know, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm not quite sure how he got away, but he didn't get away with much. We almost took the entirety of his hit points. So now there's a Barask here, and I really need to take out this Barask. I whipped my first shot because I rushed it. The second shot, I took my time, I aimed, I was like, oh yes, we're gonna get this Barask, important kill. And right before I shot and fired the gun, I got hit and the gun got damaged, which screwed up the accuracy. And so of course that second shot missed, and I felt like, we needed that one. You don't want to leave a Barask near the end of the battle when the tanks are getting low in terms of numbers. That thing is a little sneaky assassin. So an unfortunate situation there. And you can see this is shaping up to be a really close battle. It's 7-7, and now it's 7-6. In terms of tanks left, we have a slight advantage, but boy, would I feel better about it if it was 7-5 and that Barask was off the field. And we can see him now retreating up to down to the south and taking off, and we don't know where he's going to pop up again because that tank is very mobile and very quick. But then, there he is. Okay, he decided to stick around, take a little sneak, a little poke, but we're not able to get a shot over the ridge to take care of him. So again, I feel like I have to push here. I have to push the engagement. I have all of my hit points just about. I'm the heavy tank, I'm the tier 10. Like, I need to make sure that I'm influencing the battle and not just passively letting the battle come to me. Unfortunately, I see that our team is kind of spread out in this like big arc. All 8 of our tanks are spread across half the map. So any concentrated push by 3 or 4 of the enemy is gonna outnumber us. So I don't like it, so I'm like, I gotta push, I gotta take out some tanks here, and I gotta get the numbers more in our favor. And we can see that that's starting to happen down to the south. It was 6-6, now it's 5-6. Now we're behind, and I'm again spotted. Where is this Barask? What is up here on this ridge? The enemy spawned here. We know there was 2 or 3 tanks up here. Oh, okay, object 416. We haven't shot there. Boy, that tank is so short, and I rush the shot and bounce the first one, take my time, aim, find the weak point, put the second one in for a nice little chunk of damage there. And then, this is a mistake. I messed up how I went after this guy. I went directly for him, and that allowed him to do two things. As he escaped, he went down into the little valley in the shortness of his tank, hit him from view, and he got around the corner. And then as I do that, I also exposed myself to the center of the map where there's a WoTc Alphanzer 4. He puts a shot into me, although the damage seemed a little low. That's curious. And at the same time, that object 416 escaped. What I should have done instead is what I'm about to do now, which is turned and advanced to the my 10 o'clock, right? And now I can use this dune right in front of me for cover from where the WoTc was, and I would have had shots down this alley, which the 416 kind of used to escape going around this big rock. And I could have put in 2-3 shots, right? He would have been eliminated. So another costly mistake lets another tank get away, and now we're down by 2 tanks here almost at the end of this battle. It's 3-5. The one piece of good news is all of our tanks are now at least somewhat together, right? It's me, we have a heavy tank left, and I think it's a Bat Chat is that medium up in the corner. So at least we're all in the same spot and we can support each other. But again, now there's 5 enemies, and we know some went off to my right. There's a WoTc in the middle, and we bet some guys, yep, we can see one there advancing up along the northern line. So we can't sit here, we'll get surrounded and we'll get taken out. The enemy has the numbers advantage. So again, I'm gonna push and I'm gonna try and make something happen, but I wanna do so in a way that doesn't overextend and leave me isolated from my allies. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, there's 5 enemies left. I know there's some of them in the middle here. Somebody's gonna go into that cap circle and start capping, right? I mean, they're going to do that to try and put pressure on us, to try and make us come to them. So I'm thinking, all right, if I can get there quick, maybe I'll show up at the same time as them, and I can get the jump on one of those tanks and eliminate them. I also get to advance using this little valley, which is protected from both sides, and I'm covered up from behind by my 2 allies who have now moved into the enemy spawn location, right? They have line of fire to protect me from here. So I feel like a good place to go, extend the vision. I can peek up, stay hull down, get some vision for a lot of the map, and try and do something positive here. So we see the WoTc, he's quick, he's moved very far, and he ducks down behind the ridge, and now I've got a shot at the M48. I rushed it a little bit because he was going around that building, and my shot goes low and to the right and into the wall, and then, oh, disaster, T110E5 heavy pops up. However, knowing that tank like I do, because I have that tank, it is one of my favorite tier 10s, he has an average clip of 1600, and my health is over that. So I'm probably okay for this engagement, but very quickly we realize we're gonna do better than just okay, because we're gonna bounce a couple of shots, put some damage in, and then I take a shot from behind. Holy crap, now there's tanks everywhere. This is what I was trying to get, a 1-on-1, not a 3-on-1. So something is behind us. So I advance down the hill the rest of the way and use that as cover, and my allies are doing as I hoped and protecting me by throwing some shots in here to the T110E5 heavy. He's a 1-shot. We go ahead and finish him off for our 2nd kill of the game. And now I'm trying to find where is that tank that popped up. I think it was the object 416 actually. And the Bat Chat on my team is able to take him out. Some great supporting fire from my ally there. And that went pretty well. So we're still down 1 tank, but it's 2-3 now. We closed the margin, and we can see here the M48A5, that elusive tank, a couple of times that has avoided me. Here he is, and I get a chance to engage with him. I put a shot into his side, and now he's trying to get around me, but I've got a good through this tank. My turret traverse, my hull traverse is very good, and I'm able to finish off that tank finally and tie up the battle. And then all of a sudden, there's the WoTc. He pops up over the ridge. I get a nice auto-aim shot into him to put a big chunk of damage in. My 2nd shot misses, and I again take a hit, and it's a weird damage hit. This guy's firing HE at me. That's so weird. So given that, I feel pretty confident that I could win this engagement. We put in a big shot, and then we switch to HE from our standard rounds. And all I need to do here is hit his screen. We're going to do tons of damage, and oh no, I hit the gun for 100 damage, and it all just starts going wrong. I get completely thrown off by that miss. So now I don't trust the aim. I tried to auto aim. I'm letting this guy run circles around me in not a fast tank. Thankfully, I finally get my wits about me enough to put in a second shot, but I'm trying to auto aim and it's too slow, even though this tank's not fast. It's fast enough for my auto aim shots to miss, and then I can't turn off the auto aim so I can manually aim and get it in front, and I blew it. I threw that gate. That was an easy engagement. There are 15 ways I could have done that, and all of them would have been better than what I did. But that one little glitch when my shot hit the gun and did almost no damage, it just flustered me, and everything else after that went wrong immediately. Wow, that was bad. The only good news is I almost took out the tank, and thankfully my ally here in the bat chat, 25T, this is Flamanagra6666, he took out the other enemy, so now it's a one-on-one fight. Unfortunately, the bat chat has taken a ton of damage too, so he's on 374 health. I don't know if that would take an HE shot from the Waffenträger Panzer IV. The bat chat doesn't have a lot of armor. It's angled kind of funky where you can get weird bounces, but you're not bouncing an HE shell. And is that going to be enough to splash on his tank and take him out in one hit? It might be. So I'm feeling terrible. I just thought that I threw this game, and now all the pressure here is on my ally, Flamanagra. Now, the bat chat is the much quicker and more elusive tank. The Waffenträger is sneakier, but we're not in the woods. There's not a lot of bushes. There's not a lot of places for him to hide. So the Waffenträger gets one shot, right? If he misses, the bat chat can run in. It's got a clip. It can take speculative shots, right? It only needs to hit once, and if it misses once, that's fine because it's going to reload very quickly. So Flamanagra did get a read on the position of the Waffenträger. He does a quick relocate, pops into the valley, and just finishes off the Waffenträger like it's nothing, like a boss. I was sweating this. I thought I had blown it. I thought Flamanagra should have taken his time, poked, then disappeared off the radar, circled way out and used his vision to get an advantage. But no, goes in like a boss, no hesitation, takes out the Waffenträger and saves my bacon from that terrible engagement. That was awesome. Big congrats to Flamanagra in the bat chat. So that is an MVP performance, but boy, I would not want to call it that given how the end of that battle went for me. 6,666 damage to go along with our 3 kills and 921 assistance damage, over 7,500 combined damage. That's a great game in the T110E5, and that's what I'm talking about. The ceiling can be high, the floor can also be high, and you know, this was strikes and gutters. This was peaks and valleys, you know, some really, really good moments in the T110E5, some really nice engagements, some nice decisions, and also a really, really terrible one as well. So we ran a little bit of a deficit there. We fired, I think, all of our premium ammo. Things got a little hot and heavy, and I wasn't able to do my ammo management as precisely as I would have liked, but that's a pretty good result there, almost breaking even in the tier 10. We secured a high caliber, of course, for all of that damage that we did, a bruiser medal. With all those shots that we hit, we definitely did at least 5 crew member and module damage and injuries, a fire for effect because, again, our tank doesn't have that much hit points, and a first class mastery badge, which is always nice to see, for 1,529 XP, right? Not quite enough. If we had taken out that Waffenträger, if we gotten that 4th kill, if we pushed our damage a little bit higher, would this have been an ace tanker? Oh man, it feels like it. It feels like I had it in the palm of my hand and I just let it slip away. So that's this battle. And I don't want every battle to be just the ones where I do everything right. I want the battles to be fun ones, and sometimes the battles are fun because I screw up, right? We can learn from our mistakes, and you know, the will he, won't he get carried at the end of the battle, I thought was a cool moment as well. So we get to highlight an ally, Flamanagra 6666 in the BIM5 clan. Big props to you for your performance there at the end of the battle. Nice supporting me when I was down in the valley having that 2-on-1 fight. Good job cleaning up your 1-on-1 when I was screwing up mine, and saving my bacon by finishing off the last remaining enemy to lock down the win there for our team. So that is going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you next time.